It shows a lot of your heart when it comes to sports, I think, and that's like a big part of my game. And so I just like the team atmosphere and just like I can be 110% myself when I play. My dad actually knew the varsity coach at my school.
The varsity coach is a friend of mine from high school, and where we lived, our house backed right up to one of the schools, so for years after years after years, we had a chance to actually see how many people were going to the school. We could tell that there was something going on in the school, volleyball related. In our community, we have an AAU program, which means we're really pretty lucky for that. So when she got about that old, a bunch of notifications went out that they were looking for third graders to join. She was only in first grade.
I was only 6, so they didn't really think anything of it at the time, but he called the coach and he was like, hey, like, I know she's really young for your program, but can she like come try out? And I remember walking in the gym and they pulled me off to the side, like away from everyone else, and he would just toss balls to me. Literally 2 balls in, I remember this. He looked at my dad and he was like, yep, she's in.
We thought maybe a mascot. Coach came over right away, was talking to me about it, took her off to the side and did a little bit of work with her and came back and said, we don't want her as a mascot, we want her to play. So for us, it was like, okay, you know, let's do this. So we were all about doing it right then.
My dad was my coach pretty much like my whole life because he helped coach that small AAU program.
I started coaching her because I coached her brothers previously, and I would coach one for about as long as I could, and then it was time to pass them off to another coach. And then after coaching one of her brothers, he was done, and we just started doing volleyball. For the first year I watched, but after that I was like, no, I'm gonna get involved, and I got involved.
The dynamic between me and my father when it came to volleyball, it was very up and down. We definitely had our highs, that's for sure, because I was very successful in it. But he also held me to like a different standard, I think, than a lot of the other girls he coached, because I was his daughter and he didn't want me to be the coach's kid. He didn't want me to like get away with a lot of stuff.
With her, it was super easy because I didn't really have to do a whole lot with her. She just was really just self-motivated, and she attacked practice. It was really about just kind of staying out of her way and let her go do her thing, and it allowed me to coach everybody else a lot more.
I think having my dad as my coach definitely did impact my love for the game. I think naturally, like, I did love it to begin with because I do love sports in general, but I think seeing how close we got, and he was the one putting in just as many hours as I was. So yeah, like I think he definitely impacted how much I actually love the game and still do to this day. Like he keeps me, like, my mind on the right track.
I always talk to her about the fact that we did so much travel that this year was our first year we went to Florida without her, which is where Nationals is held. And you look up in the rearview mirror and she's not sitting there. And that was for the very first time. And that's when I realized how much it actually meant to be there and to watch her do her thing and just enjoy the entire experience.
I came to Michigan State in 7th grade, and this was when Holly Tolliver, Rachel, all of them were here, and they weren't here yet. So they were just commits at the time, and I ended up getting put in a group with them. Mind you, I was only a 7th grader, so I was like a baby. And so I was playing with them, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I love it, like, because they're great, like great players. Even in high school they were. Seeing that atmosphere, knowing what Michigan State was like about to be, and finding out more later on like what they were at the time, I'm like, wow, this place is great. And then 7th grade, I got to know Kathy at that time, and so that was really cool. Starting at such a young age, it was always kind of like a home for me. I think that just kind of carried on. Like Kathy is like a mom figure in my eyes, and she does have tough love, but at the end of the day, like she would do anything for anyone. And so I think that really, I'm big on loyalty, and I could see that's how she is too as a person. And so for me, that was just like a really big thing when it went to the whole like recruiting process and what I wanted to do at the next level.
I just was really happy for her because she was just so driven, and she wanted big Division I, obviously Big Ten even makes it even more special. I was all in on whatever she wanted as a player and wherever she wanted to go. And then, of course, having it here made it even more cool.
My experience here at Michigan State has been unbelievable. Best 4 years of my life. Easy, hands down. Definitely family atmosphere here, and I hold it dear to my heart. And the people I've met, the experiences I've made with everyone, on and off the court, it's indescribable. Like, I've loved every second of it.
Watching her from being in first grade, little pink knee pads, and being able to literally walk underneath the net without touching the net, to playing at Michigan State. It has been quite a journey, all self-motivated, all driven, by what she wanted. We've just spent so much time together. A lot of trips, a lot of road trips, a lot of practices. The last one we went on was down in Florida. It was just her and I. Mom couldn't go. Spur of the moment. So we had that time together. When you get a chance to have your daughter sit next to you and talk to you openly and honest about anything and everything, it's pretty special.
I give all the credit to my dad because he was there for like all the long car rides, all the long talks, and all the breakdowns that I would go through. And so yeah, he was my coach for pretty much, still is to this day in my world, still my coach. I think it definitely made our relationship a lot closer, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.